Alrighty, welcome back, and we're going to continue with our painting of this girl by the ocean here. Um, so the colors I'm using today are ivory black, titanium bluff, ultramarine blue, teal, cad red, cad yellow, titanium white. Oh, I also have an orange in here as well. So you reach around and get a nice larger brush. I do need water. I need to get some water. Okay, back with my water. I'm just going to dive right into it. So I'm going to this thing a little wet. Some ultramarine blue, titanium white. Let's get the sky. And just because I sketched it doesn't mean that's where it's going to go, right? You can change your mind, you can do whatever you want to. It's your world, right? And even after the acrylic paints, which I'm using now, you can still alter everything. You can make it a completely different painting. I'm just blocking in where I think I might want everything to go. Okay, since we're using the blue, we keep on using it for the water line. Change it up. I got a different kind of blue here. It's darker. That darkerish blue. Because you want to start off dark, right? Get lighter as you refine it. Sometimes I wet my brush with the water. It makes it so it slides easier on the canvas. I didn't wet the canvas this time, which I normally do. So it's making it a little more difficult for the paint to slide. That's fine, just go into the water Add some water to it, makes it slide just fine. Now as we get closer to the shore, I'm going to start adding more teal to it, make it a little different color, more green in it. Mix it with the paint that's already there. Leave it nice and streaky. Give it dimension, character. Use different strokes, however you want to do it. But right now I'm just getting a good underpainting. Covering up all my white. This is where I'm going to put all the rocks and things. Different variations. So that even in this stage, it gives the painting some sort of depth. All right, let's continue on the other side of our figure here. Don't be afraid to use the paint. Use a lot of paint in this stage, at least I do, because it's a cheaper paint. Acrylic is cheaper than oil paint for sure. If I wanted to put in texture, do that kind of now. You really slather on the paint. But this one's not getting too much texture. It's pretty smooth so far. That loose kind of feeling here. Different variations of color throughout. Maybe the water comes around this way. I don't know. Your picture, you can do whatever you want to do. All right, let's go back here to the faraway mountains. Hills, mountains, whatever they are. Further away stuff. Add some red to it. Add a little bit of blue. So it's less some of this titanium bluff. Just kind of grayed out a little bit for this distance stuff. Bring it on down. Bring it on down. And we can add a lot of different things when you get to the oil paint. Just trying to meld this stuff together right now. Excuse me. That's my far mountains, and my nearer mountains are going to be a different color. I'm actually going to mix some blue into this. Make it look a little bit further away. Alright, now for the more near mountains, I'm add a lot more yellow to it. That way it brings it closer. See how it looks a lot closer than this back here? Anything you don't like in your painting, you can change. It's not permanent. At one point it was all white. Now in the painting, in the reference, there's some buildings over here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to put the buildings in or not. I probably will. I usually don't. I like more serene nature type things. But I might put in the buildings this time. Who knows? I kind of caught some of the blue in there. That's fine. Go back in. Cover it up if I want to. Leave it. Different parts of the shoreline. Go back in with the lighter blue. Make some contrasting stuff in here. See how that changes it. Put the little peek through in there. I'm just doing this all with one brush because I'm going back over with oils, right? So if I was not going back over with oils and changing, making this completely different, I would be using different brushes to create different things going on. as it is right now. I really don't care if I do that or not. Just getting in my basic plan here. What's my plan going to be going forward? So that's the water. Okay. It's very blocky. It's very loose. Well, that's exactly the way I want it. Now this here is a bunch of rocks. Okay. So let's block in the rocks. We want a dark color, dark brown. And I have a bunch of blue here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my orange and my blue. That's going to create a brownish, orangish. If it gets to be too green, add some red, because this has got a little green. Add a red to it. Now it's this brownish mess, basically. It's a very dark color, which is what I want. I just want it to be all dark right now. So I'm just gonna, you know how green that is? If I add some more red to it, I got a bunch of red here. Yeah, it looks better. Just keeping it loose, creating different rocks, different shapes in here. Needs to be like all the shadows in there, right? All the shadows in the rocks are going to be either this color or darker. If I use a darker color, a black or something like that, just to add a little bit more contrast. This will be all the dark colors of the rocks. Some more water on my brush, make it slide a little bit better. See, as I put it on there, you can see it gets kind of green, blue, all different colors. Gets too green, add some red to it. Just work it in. Not worried at this point. The exact color, just that it's a dark color. Some more water. Really just trying to cover up all this white. That way when we go to our oil paints, it's a lot, it's easier-ish to make the painting. You're not worried about the white. Kind of covering so we don't see the canvas. All right, now for the figure, Again, we're just wanting to block it in, right? So we're just going to block in the darker colors. I'm going to make it a little bit lighter than the rocks stuff, but it's still going to be pretty dark. This almost looks gray. I don't know if I like that. Slap some orange in it. Well, that's what we're going to reuse. All this can be changed, all this can be fixed, all this can be different. Trying to keep some of the different shapes I've already created in here, so I know where they're at. When it comes time to paint them, I think we will do a little bit of more shading or something like that. Just so I can tell in the oil paints where everything's at. Okay, I'm going to get out a different brush. Get it wet. Take some of this black. Whoa, that's too wet. Don't like that. Do not like that. That made a mess of things. Some of this black. Don't like that. See, yeah, that's her back. Here's her elbows. Shade there. This side of her head is a little bit darker. almost doing like another sketch type thing, so we can see where some of the stuff is that we created already. Anyway, covering up the canvas. But it's going to take a lot of fixing in the oil section. Take a lot of fixing. So I went kind of sloppy on this. Let me get another brush. Get some of this, fix some of this here. This comes out like this. That's completely the wrong color. See how a different brush changes things? But I don't like that color. Do not like this color for right here. Get out a different brush. That's okay, we can just let it fly here, because we're going back in again with different paint. I am gonna do some different highlights. I mean, we got a highlight in here, highlight on the over here. Sounds more reflective over here. Kind of does that. And this will let me see better when it comes to oil paints, getting my colors right. I'll give it more depth and stuff too. When it comes to the oil paint, different colors, different things, different layers, you know. Doesn't hurt to have different layers, different colors. Doesn't have to be the color it's going to be. It will all show up in the end. Or it won't. Or you'll completely cover it up. So, all up to you. It's actually in shadow. Got her shadow right here. Make a little darker color. Going into black. Going into black doesn't do much. I mean, it makes it darker, but a lot of times it's not what you want. It doesn't turn it into the darker that you want. It turns it into a just blah color. Especially if you have white in it. Makes it a blah color. Anyway, we'll be able to fix that when it's when in oils. Yeah, like this black down here. It's just don't like it. Don't like it. Try to fix it a little bit, because that'll stand out, I think. Try to fix a couple things. There, that looks marginally better. I can tell where it's at anyway. So where her face is at. Just add little different colors here and there. That's it, almost straight up titanium bluff. That's too bright. I want it to be more like that. out too far. Like I said, we'll fix it. Yeah, that needs to be fixed. That's just a little bit too far. And roughly in there somewhere. The other hand's right here. All right, well, that looks better. Keep on messing with it. Oh no. See where the sun's coming from? It's coming from over there. I'm just going to add a little bit of more. This highlights where I already did. But anyway. Sorry, I'm just trying to find all little spots I want to fix before I call this portion done. So yeah, anything else I want to fix, I'm going to fix in the oil painting stage, okay? You can see you got your different contrasts. This is further back than this one. See, it's coming up forward. See one spot I don't like right now. Then I'm going to just blend in a little bit. This is right here. I just want that to be a little bit more like that. And this, of course, will fix more so in the oil painting stage, but well, that looks horrible. I'm gonna fix that up a little bit now. It's not wet anymore. Ah, now I'm just screwing it up. Like I said, don't worry if you screw up even that much. That is just crazy what I did there. You're not done with the painting yet. Nobody's making you stop. You can stop whenever you want to. Nobody's making you keep on going. Right now my paints are a muddy mess. And I shouldn't have continued. Shouldn't have tried to fix anything. It looked fine. Fix everything else in the oil paints, right? Just don't worry about it. We know where our figure's at. We know what's going on. So let's just end it here. And once this dries, which is not long, this stuff's already dry up here. That's why I created a big mess. Once it's dry, then we'll go into oil paints. Show you how to finish this up. All right. Thank you.